Hey, what's up? It's your girl Tori Indeed and
Jersey Stacks.
hey.
What's going on, everyone?
And we have a very special guest, super special guest, Eric LeGrand. Hello.
What's going on, guys?
Advocate, role model, motivational speaker, a little bit of everything, very inspiring story. And I know today of the month of October, it marks your 10th year anniversary since your spinal cord injury. And I believe you've come a long way. Thank you for, giving us the time to just sit and chat with you. It's been a minute since I've seen you in general, but how are you?
I'm doing great. As you mentioned, this is my 10-year anniversary coming up, and people have been asking me, like, what's it feel like after 10 years? And I'm just like, honestly, I can remember that day like it was yesterday.
I'm
It's
sure.
10 years. You think about it, 365 days in a year, times that by 10, that's 3,650 days ago. This happened. That's a lot. It's a long time ago in retrospect, but when I think about it, it feels
Right.
like it was just yesterday. But yeah, I've
Wow.
come a long way, and I just want to keep on inspiring the world with by being the person who I am. What you see is what you get.
Absolutely. I mean, before your injury, you were already motivational. You were already
Mhm.
inspiring your teammates, motivating them, making videos, and like really amping them up before the games, right? So it's like
Yeah,
that's already embedded in you. That's already you, who Eric LeGrand
Yeah.
is. It's like already what you do and what you've always done. But now, because of that situation, you didn't let it end you. I know your family and friends were there supporting you, and that made you want to fight the fight. You were like connected to breathing machines, and you really. I saw one of your YouTube. I know you have a YouTube channel where you kind of document your journey or your interviews, and when you go on your motivational talks and inspiration postings. Um, so I know
yes.
that was
I was gonna say, yeah. I've been able to document that a little bit through YouTube, but without my family, my friends, and my journey along this journey, I would not definitely be where I am. But I've always was this, outgoing, upbeat, want to get everyone amped up, fired up, whether it was before the game or after the game.
right.
That's who I was. And when I got injured, I said to myself, I'm 20 years old. God willing, I live many, many more years. I don't want to be
I
depressed down in
know.
the dumps and just upset. So I kept the same attitude. I said I promised myself I'm still gonna be the same Eric, just a little
Right.
bit different now with my injury, but I'm still
Right.
going to be me.
Like the heart and the passion is still there, the same
Hmm.
Eric, right?
Exactly. I was not gonna let that change because this
I
injury
know.
happened to
I know it takes a lot of personal growth and mental health to even be as positive as you are right now. Obviously, defeating obstacles and really overcoming them is tough and it's hard. And maybe sometimes you feel like I just want to sleep longer. I just, don't feel like doing today. What are some of the things that are like that you consider personal growth?
honestly the personal growth is being I actually wake up every day excited for what the day is to come because I have seen so many people in similar situations as myself.
Right.
And just the way that what happened to them not having the same support that I have, them not having the same accessibilities I have to certain things, not being able to have the platform that I have, and that puts things in perspective for me. Like what, you are blessed. Everything that you have in your life, you're so fortunate with. Don't ever
Right.
take that for granted. If anything, if you ever took anything for granted before this injury, don't take it for granted anymore because at the drop of a dime,
I
everything can be
know.
taken away from you. And I've seen it just with so many people now. Just you living in one bedroom apartment in the middle of an inner city. The elevator breaks for 3 months at a time. Can't even get out the building.
Oh
Stitches are falling
man,
in that.
that's
Like,
also scary.
yeah, you hear that. You hear stories like that. And meanwhile, I'm sitting clean. I'm not gonna lie. I got a beautiful house, beautiful family, nice car. It's just like,
Right.
what do I really have to complain about? So every
Right.
day, my personal growth is being able to wake up every day and actually excited for what the day has to come.
Right. Wow. How about mental health? How do you like
Mhm.
get out of the funk, like with mental health and mental growth?
I'll tell you what, playing sports has helped me train my mind so much when it comes to mental toughness and mental health, especially when you go through adversity or things you don't want to do, or you just have to put that mindset, I got to get through this. I got to work hard. I'm going to get better. Because there's so many, especially playing football, you only
Right.
get a certain amount of opportunities to actually go out there and play the game. You get, college, you get 12 opportunities, high school, 10. You make it to the NFL, 16 opportunities to play the game.
Yeah.
All that stuff that you got to do leading up to weight room sessions, sacrificing time with your family, study hall, tutoring, just everything that leads up to it just to play the game 12 times. Believe me, it allows you to go through self-evaluation periods. Learning how to, when you're down, you don't want to do nothing, everything hurts. Getting up and going out there the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and eventually trained behavior becomes instinct.
Right.
And that's how it has been with me mentally. If there's something that I don't want to do, it's just like, all right, E, get yourself together, man. We got to get through this. We got to get
Right.
to the next day, and the next day. When you're done, it actually feels good. You feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Nice. So how was it playing for Greg Schiano in college, and then also having him in Tampa too?
Yeah, Coach Schiano, I'm not gonna lie to you. Playing with Coach Schiano wasn't always easy. It wasn't always fun. He worked us. He turned young boys. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background.
It's okay.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, he turned young boys into men, and he would put us through some crazy drills and mental toughness areas, thinking that I got nothing left in me. This guy's pushing me and pushing me, and somehow you get through it, and then when it's all done, it's like, I got through that. I could come back. I could do it again the next day. So, like I said, he takes 17, 18-year-old boys, and when we leave, 21, 22-year-old men ready to take on the world from all the different ways that he has going about training us, to become successful people in society.
Definitely.
That's beautiful.
That is.
How about core values? I know you mentioned before that, some of your core values come from your coach, the love, the sacrifice. So tell us a little bit about that.
I lived my life by a definition that was embedded in our head while we were at Rutgers. When I was there, we would say it every day, but it goes in one ear and out the other. But once you get into the real world, it actually, it's kind of hits you. And it was the definition of success. And it's the peace of mind you get knowing you did everything you could to be the best you can be. I'll say it one more time. It's the peace of mind you get knowing you did everything you could to be the best you can be. And you gave it your all at whatever it was. If it was working on this interview right now, if it was working on another project, if it was helping out somebody, if you gave it your all, when you look in that mirror at night, you say, you know what? I gave it my all. There was nothing left I could give. And when you go to bed, put your head on that pillow, you should sleep at ease. And if you didn't, if you slacked off a little bit here and there, and God willing, you wake up the next day, when you look in that mirror in the morning, you say, you know what? I'm going to be my best today. And when those days start adding up and adding up and adding up, watch where life takes you.
Wow. Thank you so much for going, even though, I talk about the word success a lot. And, I've come down to the point where I'm like, all right, success is up to one. Like, it's up to your definition, right? And your own definition. But the way you just put it to me, I think it's like so much more clarity and makes you want to have even bigger expectation, bigger goals. And because, a lot of people can say like, hey, Tori, you're not successful. But your definition versus my definition of success could differ, right? But
it's
you
all
really
about
put it
what
in a
you tell
perspective.
yourself. It's what you control your success. Obviously, things happen in life, but how you respond to them, that's your choice. That's your reaction. You can control your success and how far you go.
Right. I agree. Thank you so much. And how about I don't know if I mentioned this. I know I mentioned your 10-year anniversary due to with the spinal cord injury rather. Sorry, but you're also indicted into Rutgers Athletics Hall of Fame. Yay!
Yeah, that's.
How does that feel? Hold on, I have a picture actually. Let me throw it up.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there we go.
They'll sue me, Rutgers. I borrowed it.
Nah, that's cool. You know, it's a humbling feeling. You know, a kid from Avondale, New Jersey. I work my
Hey.
represent yeah.
Crazy.
But to get from Avondale, New Jersey, worked hard, stayed on the right path. I had a great support system behind me to be able to go to play at Rutgers, on a full scholarship. And the Rutgers, I don't know if you guys know, is the birthplace of college football. Where
Right.
college football was born, to have my number hanging into the stadium, the only one in the over 150-year history of Rutgers football. It's just special when you drive down Route 18 and you can see my number shining through that stadium. So it's now I look at it as the young kids that are coming up now that didn't get to see me play. The
Right.
legacy that I'm trying to leave now is for their parents to be able to point when they see, what is that number, Dad? What is that number, Mom? They can share my story of who I am and what I'm doing.
Right.
And that's why it's so special to me.
Nice, nice.
We see the jersey in the background.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
man, yeah, 52.
one of my jerseys I played in back in the day. I think it's tight, well, I'll tell you.
Framed very nicely.
Yes. So how was it getting it retired? That number.
Yeah,
Knowing
when I
that you were
was
the last one to wear it.
I know that was in 2013. They surprised me too because I always was wondering like if anybody was going to wear my number after the injury. It had been now 3 years since my injury. No one had worn it, and then at the time, Coach Flood was the head coach there, and he called me up one day in the summer. He was like, "E, this year during the season, we want to have a ceremony for you at the pit on the field. We want to retire your jersey." I said, "What?" Like, yeah, and then he, broke it down like the only one ever.
What?
Yeah, like the only one ever. And I was like, Coach, like, this is amazing. But they didn't tell me where they were gonna put it. So I'm wondering. So I come rolling out there onto the field, all 52,000 people yelling and clapping and raising 52. And I get to the middle of the field, and I turn. I'm like, okay, like where am I supposed to look now? So then I look. I look at the video board, and they played a nice video up there for me. It was cool. And then my coach
Wow.
was turn around, E, and then I turn around, and he points up, and then they drop the banner down, and I was like, yo,
Wow.
oh man, all the blood, sweat, and tears. It was all
What a
worth it.
beautiful ceremony.
That is.
I'm sure. I just threw up the website up there, EricLeGrand52.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep up with him. I know you raise money too towards spinal cord injuries. I know you do a lot of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started my foundation, Team LeGrand, of the Christopher and Dana Reed Foundation back in the fall of 2013, and obviously it's near and
Right.
dear to my heart because of my situation. But there's 5.6 million people in this world that are dealing with some sort of paralysis. So I said, all these people are asking me, E, how can we help? What can we do to help? What can we do?
Right.
And I did my research on the Christopher and Dana Reed Foundation, and I partnered up with them so we can raise money, so we can give people hope. That's the thing. So many times this injury happens, and everyone's like, what's next? I'm never going to walk again, never going to do that. My goal is to give them hope, knowing that they got somebody out there fighting for them, trying to raise money for them, knowing that one day we will find that cure and we'll be able to live this world with empty wheelchairs like Christopher Reeve wanted. So that's my goal,
Wow.
that's my dream, and I'm happy to say we're closing in on raising $2 million in these past 7 years.
Ooh, wow.
It's been pretty cool.
Congratulations.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm always willing to repost and share. So anything, I know a dollar goes a long way, right? And these
It sure
researches
does.
and any clinical trials or studies. So I'm willing to repost, share, do what we have to do to really support the cause. And which brings me to believe, right? What I know you've probably said it over and over again, and you probably have it like down packed, and you could probably even say it backwards. But how did you create believe?
That's actually a funny story. So believe, became my mantra in the beginning. We got to believe that Eric's going to be okay. We're going to believe that God has Eric in his hands. And there was a story that went behind it. So at Colonia High School, in the football locker room, before you go out to the football field, there was a sign over the door that said "Believe." And
Right.
my whole career, all 4 years, I always would tap the EL. Never told nobody, but I always saw EL, Eric LeGrand. So I would tap it. I would always tap it on my way out to the field before practice and before a game. Didn't tell nobody. The summer before I
That's
got
cool.
injured,
That's a fun fact.
the summer before I got injured, So I was in college and I wasn't there anymore. So I told one of my old teammates, John Nevins, I was like, you know that sign, above the locker room? Always used to hit the EL. He was like, yo, man, that's dope, man. I never even thought about that. I'm like, yeah, I always used to hit that. So after my injury, when everyone was trying to rally around, like, what do we do? My friend John actually told Coach Shiano that story, and boom, it took off. That's the word.
Wow.
His initials are right in the word. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna believe, and here we are, 10 years later, still believing.
Wow.
I love it. I absolutely love
You
it.
see how everything happens
Great.
for a reason? It's crazy.
Yeah. So how do you think COVID affected sports, especially with like all the players that went down the last 2 weeks? We had
Mm-hmm.
I think 3, 4 ACL, MCL tears alone. I mean, you think
Yeah.
COVID impacted it big?
Oh, it's especially in football. See, people sometimes don't understand that football players. You think, oh yeah, they're big, strong people. Just throw them out there and play. Now you need that off season where you're lifting and you're
Yeah,
strengthening those
definitely.
muscles and those joints and before you go, you need that off season with your team, with the strength and conditioning coach. I know you can do stuff on the side on your own,
Hmm.
but it's just not the same as when you're in like an organization and everything is organized for you. So when you now they go out there and they start playing, there was no preseason football, no games to warm up.
No,
Now
nothing.
you're throwing guys out there and you see ACL, ankle, this, and I'm like, dang, I'm a big time
Wow.
Denver Broncos fan. My whole team went down. My whole team, I'm like, you know what? They like I'm getting tight watching, but you see the effects of COVID by not letting you have an off season to get your body prepared for a 16 game season,
Right.
and we're seeing it hit now. All these teams, everyone's going down. It's like at the end of the year, we're gonna figure out who's the most healthiest team that's gonna win.
That's gonna end up taking it all the way, probably the healthiest team.
Yeah, whoever's the most healthiest team is gonna win.
Yeah, that's probably gonna end up
Oh
happening.
man. And how about for yourself? I know you are definitely considered high risk to COVID. So I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure it has affected you tremendously.
I'll tell you what. I've had to really use my mental toughness these past 7 months. I'm an extrovert. I had to work on both now, extrovert and introvert. Extrovert
Okay.
going out, going. I had to work in my introvert side because I always was out and about around people. My
Right.
events that I had, my motivational speaking, it was always around people, like being out and about.
Yes.
Now I've seen my family, a good amount of times. Seen a few friends here and there, but most of my friends I haven't seen in over 7, 8 months. It's crazy to think about that. Some even probably a year now. And
Wow.
just to think about how I've had to pivot now and think, all right, what am I going to do with myself? And I promised myself a few months back saying, you know what? At the end of COVID-19, I'm going to come out better than what this whole thing started.
That's
And that's what
right.
led me into multiple business endeavors that I'm actually getting ready to launch, and I have launched one already. But I've been listening to a bunch of audio books as well. That's been putting me in the right mindset so I can strive
Nice.
through this and get through this.
Any
So
recommendations?
yeah, so I listened to a good amount. So David Goggins, I don't know if you guys know, he was this Army, military, Navy, all this crazy dude, insane. And if you want to talk about mental toughness, that dude likes to put himself through pain, running 100 miles, pooping, peeing on himself while he's running, blisters, everything, and still
What?
not
I have to
stopping.
check him out.
No training, nothing. That was insane. But business wise, the book that changed my life forever will be Shoe
Wow.
Dog by Phil Knight, which is the creator of Nike.
Nike.
We
Yeah.
hear about Nike, right? And you just know
Right.
that big global brand. But I wanted to hear how it started. And when I hear all the stuff that it took, like I didn't know Adidas came before Nike, Puma, those
Yeah.
brands were huge. And
Right.
then you
Right. Right.
hear how what it took to grow Nike, and then how now he's at the top of the empire. I'll tell you what, after hearing some of the stuff that he did and stuff that he didn't even like the name Nike, he came with Nike swoosh, made it up on the fly while he was in a meeting with investors. I'm like, you know how much
That
money
is
you made off of
crazy.
Nike
Yeah.
Yeah.
swoosh? And yeah, and the word Nike, like you didn't even like the name. He wanted to name it Dimension Six or Falcon. And they were and he listened to one of his. Could you imagine? Like, yo, you got those new Dimension Sixes. So
And
you
he's a
hear that
sneakerhead,
I
so
am. I am.
exactly.
That's
You
why I know
understand,
the
JS.
book.
You
Yeah.
understand. So when I hear that stuff, after reading that book, it blew my mind, and it just launched my entrepreneurship, side where I'm working on a bunch of projects now.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Nike threw a lot just trying to get Jordan
Yeah,
away from. I think it was Adidas too. If
Adidas
I'm
was
not
trying to snap.
mistaken, that was
Adidas
trying
was
to
trying
get
to
Jordan
snatch him
first.
in the beginning as well, and I believe
Yeah,
Converse even came in there trying to get him. But Nike, they threw the boatload at him, and look what it did.
everything. Yep.
They took that risk back in the mid '80s, and they threw everything at him. And geez, now look at them. They're both multi-billion-dollar brands now.
I would say it's probably the biggest or second biggest next to LeBron now, for
It's
shoe wise.
it's insane how much money that Jordan still makes today
Yeah,
off his sneaker. I mean, I got over 100 in my closet right now, and I just it's a lifestyle, man. It's just a
Right.
lifestyle.
it is. It definitely is. Yeah.
Facts. Do they still call you Big
Biggie, E52, what
E52, all of that.
when people actually call me Eric, I actually kind of feel weird. Besides my family calls my aunt, my uncle, my
Well, I wanted to
brother-in-law,
give
they
you a
say
formal
E.
introduction, so that's why I said
Yeah,
Eric LeGrand, and but
yeah,
I
no,
remember
no, that's
Big
fine.
E.
But most people call me E. But yeah, if I hear you gotta be really, really close to me to actually for me to be like, hey Eric, I'm
I
like
guess that's
what?
with me versus Amy, Victoria, Ami, and
Uh-huh.
all that. So yeah,
You
I could
know, man, I
definitely.
remember that. I remember when I met you back in 7th grade. I said, you said my name's Amy. I was like, okay, Amy, but my real name's Victoria. I said,
Stop.
okay, okay, Amy, Victoria, whatever one you want.
It's about you right now, right?
Funny.
That is hilarious. Is there any gems you want to drop or any advice? Anything you want to just close it off with? Please feel free.
No, I would love to talk about the company that I actually just started working with. It's called Forbeto, Forbeto, Forbeto Unites. And it's this company that's actually really cool. So in this world today, people don't like to listen to ads in this space. So we're actually helping local businesses and charities. So this is how it works. We have a web app where people actually sign up to the web, but you're just listeners. And you get local businesses throughout New Jersey that will pay for that ad space. So they give about a 30-second ad. And listen, you get to listen to about 5 or 6 ads in one block. So it's about 3 minutes long. After you listen to the ad, you get to donate money to the charities that we partnered up with
Oh,
throughout New
cool.
Jersey. And you donate. So say, hey, I listened to this ad. I get to donate $1, $2, or $3 to a charity of my choice. So it doesn't cost you
Nice.
anything. And so many times people want to give back to a charity, but
That's
they don't
true.
have the funds to do it. Here's the platform. Now you get to hear these local businesses who are throwing all these different, offers that they have 25% off of this, 50% off of this to listen to for 3 minutes. It takes 3 minutes, and you get to do it 2, 3 times a month. And that month you can say, you know what? I was able to donate money to Team LeGrand. I was able to donate money to Embrace Kids. I was able to donate money to the VFW. And that's all
Right.
for better. Just all by just listening to an ad for 3 minutes long. You get to help people that are
Wow.
dealing with cancer,
I
hunger.
I
It's
definitely
just
want to look
nuts.
into that. I
Like I
definitely
said,
want to
for
be a part
Beto
of that
Unite.
and
So
look
F
into
O
that for
R
sure.
FORBETO Unites.com. And yeah, just be a part of our movement. We're trying to help a lot of people out over here. Like I said, businesses with COVID have been devastated, and then the charities not having events. So we're trying to bring everyone all in one together to just
I
keep
love
out
it.
raising money.
I'll definitely want to be
Nice.
a part of it. I will check it out for sure. I'll let you know how
Appreciate
it
it.
goes. And just for even that, like it just reminds me of a friend of mine. You know, at one point, we all not many of us struggle to get jobs or whatnot. And I remember she said, as soon as you get your job, make a donation to any charity you want.
Mm.
And it really comes from a more of a religious belief for her. She's Muslim, and they have like these beliefs, these discussions, and what they take upon themselves, and what they do, what they would think to help somebody else. She
Mm-hmm.
said, once you get that job or that next project or whatnot, take $20, take any amount of money you want, and donate it to any charity of your own. Like, I've been praying for you, or and things like that. And I always thought, like, okay, I want to choose a charity where it affects somebody truly,
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, yourself, spinal cord injury, or
Mm-hmm.
there's so many other charities, and just to be able to have that in an app, and then you choose your own. It kind of brings me back to, like, I got into a habit every time I get a job, a gig, or a project, I always take $20, $100, whatever I can at that time, and I'll like split it up or do one big donation to a charity. And I got a customer doing that, and that was my friend Sue that you know, introduced me to that, to give
That's
back to
actually really
different charities
cool.
that you're choosing.
I actually like that. I actually might implement that a little bit into my life. You know, a new project I work on that first check, donate
Right.
something to a foundation. So that's good. And you
Right.
mentioned before, every dollar counts. It don't matter if it's $1. Every dollar goes a long way. And at the end
Right.
of it, you feel good about yourself because you're helping out just
Oh,
whatever
absolutely.
cause you would like to. So I like that advice from your friend Sue. I'm actually might start
Oh
doing
yeah,
that.
she definitely. I love her, and even like I'm thinking about your app. Like, okay, I could use the web app just to give back and do it.
Yeah,
I could apply that format to that
absolutely.
formula, right?
Absolutely. 1000%. We'd love to have you on board. So
Thank
definitely.
you.
Great.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else?
Last one.
Oh gosh.
How you feel? Lakers, Miami.
Ooh.
Man, see, all right. Now you done touched the sensitive subject for me because I'm a diehard Kevin Garnett fan. So you know the battles that the Celtics used to have with LeBron when he was with Cleveland, then he went down to Miami, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So I hated Miami when they partnered up down there. I hated them. And you know, because I battled every time as soon
I
as he went to
remember your
Miami.
jerseys.
Yes, I had
Oh,
a
you
Kevin
had those?
Garnett
Jerseys all the
jersey.
time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a KG jersey hanging up in my closet. So I used to hate them, and then obviously KG retired, and then LeBron went
Yeah.
on did his thing. So now he's in LA, and now they're playing the Heat, and I love LeBron James off the court, but I ain't rooting for him on the court. And then everything that happened with Kobe Bryant, of course, good for the Lakers, but it's just like I hated the Heat. I don't like LeBron on the court. Who do I root for? I said, you know what? Jimmy Butler's my dog right now, but I don't think they're gonna pull it
Oh,
off. But
Jimmy Buckets?
Jimmy Butler's
Definitely.
my
Yeah,
dog,
man.
so I'm trying to go for the Heat.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
nice.
getting pulled all different types of ways.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
okay.
That should have been the icebreaker.
Should have been, but
Yeah, you hit a soft spot, a sensitive spot with that one. Oh.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Big E.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey, we'll keep
I
in touch in
appreciate you,
any project.
Amy.
Oh,
Say that
dang.
again?
Okay. All right, you getting the flow? You getting the flow? I love this. I love what you're doing. Congratulations on being indicted.
Yeah, and having number retired and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's dope. And I know you met a lot of dope people along the way. Influencers, young children. I've seen you, raising money and just meeting with young children that could relate to you, and that's dope, man. You're doing a great thing.
Even the up and coming athletes.
I'm just trying to leave a legacy down here where my time
You
is
are
up.
a legacy.
Definitely.
I appreciate that. Thank you.